Okay. Okay, off we go.
Hi.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Janice.
And here we are doing our first little broadcast of some cooking and chat and wisdom. And
This show's called Our Inner Gold, so that we help people and ourselves explore our inner wisdom.
thank you. Well, we're going to start with something very simple for a breakfast or any other time, a little omelette. Sometimes they're elusive in how to make an omelette, so we start with some fresh ingredients, primarily eggs, of course, always organic.
Why organic?
Organic. It has to be organic. It has to have no pesticides, no foreign substances, no chemicals, as pure as it can be, because when we ingest it, it goes right into our body, and that's what we build our whole bodies with.
You know why I love the organic eggs? It's the humane way in which they treat the chickens.
Yes.
They get to run around in the sun and eat their chicken feed that's not penned up in a little cage.
That's true, Janice, especially if it's free range. Not all organic eggs
that's true.
are in fact that way. If you could get them from a farm, that's where you should go. But if you can't, buy a good quality one that specifically says free range.
I specifically buy free range.
And incidentally, the color of the eggs has
No bearing on
relevance
the
to
taste.
anything.
Yeah.
It depends on the breed of chicken. I've had green eggs before, actual green eggs.
Have you?
Yes. Yeah.
Was the
green
shell?
The shell was green.
Oh,
the
cool.
egg inside is just normal. So,
I've tasted eggs, commercial ones that weren't free range or organic, and they were on sale, so I thought, okay, I'll try them. They were white. They tasted so sweet, like sugar. It was disgusting. I had to throw them all out.
oh,
Yeah.
that's so weird. I guess
So
it's a
they must
reflection
be
of what they
feeding
eat.
the chickens something very sweet to fatten them up and produce these sugary eggs. So
Wow.
you can taste it.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
taste
there
the
is-
difference.
Yeah, you should be able to.
And
but
you can
not
see the
always.
color in the yolk.
Yeah, that depends on the feed of the
Exactly.
of the chicken. And
Yeah.
when they're wild, it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start with an omelette. So you have to crack a
You're
few
going to
eggs.
start with what?
Cracking my eggs to
Oh,
make an
yeah.
omelette.
Here she goes.
There's nothing very professional about this. This is a home kitchen.
I don't know how to make an omelet. I'm really lousy, so she's teaching me how to make a good omelet.
Well, I'm just going to make a 3-egg omelette. It's usually enough for 2 people. I'm making sure there's no shell in here. There's always a bit. Okay.
Things I get to eat some.
All right, take my whisk. So, simple 3 eggs. Whisk with a fork, whisk with a whisker. You don't need any machine to do it, but you do want to whisk them up nice and thoroughly. Takes a little bit. And the ingredients to go with an omelette can be anything you have in your fridge. Well, almost anything. I like mushrooms, I like cheese, if I've got some leftover spinach or any kind of greens. You have some peppers, you can do anything you want. So, nice and whisked. I'm going to make some mushrooms on this occasion, so I will chop some mushrooms. Probably should have done this ahead of time.
No, I like it that you're doing it now. I just catch them as they grow.
I always just cut the end off so they're flat.
Yeah.
And,
But they don't
very sharp knife, so always careful not to cut myself. Touch wood, don't do very often with a sharp knife. A blunt knife, yes. Okay, that will do to start. And get some.
Here she's got, I'm going to show this big, nice, round wok.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
Is this like
It's
a
a
non-stick
It's a cast iron.
cast iron?
Cast iron one.
Wow.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Okay, so
Always butter. Why always butter?
Okay, so I'm using organic butter, very important because the fat contains even more of the chemicals in this concentrated form. So organic butter, it's worth a little extra.
Wow.
I picked this up on sale as it happens. So just look around, and if you can buy some organic at a good price, throw it in the freezer. And I always buy salted because it keeps it preserved longer. Anyway, a good knob of butter on the gas and get that nice and hot. I'm going to cook a few mushrooms first. A little shout out to for this beautiful board. It's a beautiful natural maple board, and I got it from Granville Island from a beautiful artisan artist over there.
So if nobody knows, Granville Island is in Vancouver, Canada.
Yeah, we have lots of lovely artisans here. Okay, this will take a few minutes to heat up and fry. Nice hot heat. But
This city, it's always raining, so it's raining today. Chilly, rainy day.
Okay. And I think a watch pot never boils. That's going to take a minute.
Okay, I can watch over that
Okay, I'm just
while you chop up these green onion.
Yes, I'm just going to chop a green onion just for a little bit of flavour. I already washed these. Now, clearly I'm not a professional cook. I'm a home cook. So if you're looking for knife skills, probably won't find them here. I like the right to the ends once I've chopped off any yucky bits. It's almost just for a garnish. And I'm going
I
to...
save these yucky bits in a paper bag, and then I'll use them for making a soup broth later. This can be used too.
Yes. Yeah, we don't like waste.
We don't.
We don't waste. We almost don't waste
We don't
anything.
waste anything. That's something that you'll learn with us, so that you can be really frugal and non-wasteful yourselves.
Yeah, then you can afford to buy the nicer
Exactly.
things. I'm just slicing some nice hothouse tomatoes just for garnish in anticipation. And there's your little froth of stuff we're keeping for later.
Do you ever do like nutmeg on your mushrooms?
I haven't tried nutmeg on my mushrooms. That sounds interesting.
It's really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Would it go nicely in an omelette?
it would.
Do you want to try some?
Sure, just a little sprinkle, nothing too heavy, but
Okay.
I just,
Well, I
yeah.
have some nutmeg,
Okay.
so go for it.
Okay, I'm putting, this is the spontaneity. There.
Janice is the queen of spices and herbs.
Yeah. And then,
I have to turn my extractor on, otherwise my smoke detector will go off.
looks good.
So I'm going to add a little salt. I use something called real salt, not the basic white salt that you can buy. This is full of minerals. It's not as expensive as the Himalayan salt. It comes from the, where does it come from? Salt Lake City area.
Is it still a pink salt though, right?
It's a pink salt, yes,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
It's a pink salt from, yeah, I think it's from Utah.
Yeah, Utah. Salt Lake City, ancient salt.
Yeah, they're known
area.
for their salts, eh?
That's smelling good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Good.
So that took literally like 3 minutes to
Yeah.
be super brown and nice. Let me show you. Yeah, look. Good. I'm going to put those on the side because I'm going to add them to my omelette later. Put them on here.
Oh, you're gonna actually, here, you want me to?
I got it. It's a very heavy pan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to keep that on the heat.
Nice.
I'm going to add a little more butter.
Now, explain why butter instead of margarine.
Oh my God, yes. Well,
Because a lot of people don't know
That's
about
true.
the margarine versus the butter.
yeah. Well, margarine they use the cheapest oil for, and they hydrogenate it through a chemical process, which is pretty bad.
What it causes is the oil molecule to be unflexible, to be like a rigid bond, and that's what causes problems with cholesterol buildup in the arteries.
I don't know if you can see this. I poured the
Hydrogenated and a saturated fat are very dangerous for the body. So you're getting a really good fat in the butter.
So I poured my eggs in into a hot pan with hot butter, and
Can you show it?
Okay, quickly, very quickly, and it has to go back. Omelettes are a little delicate. It's going to start to set, and I gave it a quick swirl with the whisk, and then you leave it till it begins to set. I've got some Manchego cheese here. I'm probably going to use half of that. It's probably about an ounce or so. And I'm going to wait for this to set a little bit, and then when it's ready, I'll put some cheese on top and the mushrooms and fold it over while it's still a little bit moist on the top. Hopefully you'll be able to see that.
Okay.
And I need...
So we're going to fold this onto where? Onto this plate? This plate?
Yes, once it's ready, we can
Okay.
put it inside or on the side. Do you want to describe your greens, Janice?
Oh, okay. In Vancouver, there are a lot of community gardens. And right now they're chock full of fresh spinach, arugula, mixed greens, like lettuce, and kale. And so I just collected a few of these fresh greens from a community garden, and that's what we have here for on the side of the omelette. They stay fresh for a long time too. So these are a couple days old. Oh, that looks good.
Okay, I'll give you a quick shot of this. This is
Yeah.
this is how far we've got right now. It's getting very close to being ready to turn over.
Oh, I love Manchego cheese.
The eggs aren't quite set, but the mushrooms are cooked. The cheese will melt once I folded it in. So I'm going to take it off the gas. This is the tricky part, and it doesn't matter if it isn't perfect. I fold over once, and I'm going to let gravity do the rest. Trouble is, this is such a heavy pan. So I fold it over once and twice, and then I'm going to let it,
Want me to hold this?
thank you, fall on here.
Look at
They don't always turn out perfect,
Oh,
but
that's
they'll turn out
gorgeous.
delicious. There we go.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't set off the fire alarm, nothing. Okay,
That's wonderful.
and some of your nice greens on the side.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
breaks up
You want to just lightly
the
chop
heaviness.
them?
Oh, do you want them chopped?
A little, maybe.
Okay, sure. That residual heat on there is going to melt the cheese and make it delicious. So this is going to be nice.
Look at that.
That looks lovely. Okay, not wasting anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want pepper on it, I put it on afterwards. Not everybody likes pepper. And
Oh, and here's beet green. A lot of people don't know that when the beets are growing, you can literally just snip off the greens here and there, not all of them. They do need this to collect the sunlight to put down into the root. But you can literally, when they're fresh like this, chop up this and eat this as well, the stem. This is rich in bioflavonoids.
yes,
This is good for the immune system.
and it's delicious. So there we have breakfast, probably for two. I will divide this and we'll eat it later.
Thank you, Victoria.
So that's
That's
our first
lovely.
attempt.
Yeah, I've not been able to make an omelet. I had learned at one time you're supposed to take a fork and do something with it early on, and
That's the
kind of-
whisk. Once you put it in
I've
the
already
hot
whisked
pan,
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then you run the whisk through it and it just breaks it up.
just once.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, and hot heat.
okay.
And although this might seem like a high cholesterol food, that's really wrong information. I eat all these supposedly high cholesterol foods, and my cholesterol is amazing. It depends how you balance the rest of your eating. But if you're eating hydrogenated fats, margarines, bad oils,
Deep
and
fried.
deep fried, not eating enough green vegetables and fiber, then yes, you can run into problems. But if you eat a healthy diet, the fat from eggs, butter, shrimp, seafood, it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's good. The amount of sugar you eat is really a critical part of cholesterol, but nobody talks about that.
Yeah, the sugar is part of creating an insulin problem, and that ends up the body's reaction to wanting to coat the arteries, because the insulin causes lesions on the arterial wall. So then it wants to plaque it to preserve our arteries. And what does it plaque it with? The bad fats.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to say about cholesterol, but maybe another time.
Another time. Gradually, if you follow our show, we cover these things as we go
Yeah,
along.
we'll keep talking about them.
So this morning I baked bread for our lovely omelet breakfast because I love baking. And so here's my beautiful loaf.
That looks so delicious. I'm going to get a cloth to wipe that.
Oh, okay. Here we go. It's a simple bread. I used some of my sourdough starter with it to give it a bit of that sourdough tang. But I did use instant dry yeast to be able to give it some more rise. And I used 1 egg, I used a little butter, and I used whipping cream in this to give it a nice rich flavor, salt and a little sugar. So it's a little bit of a sweeter bread, but not too sweet.
I can't wait.
And
Janice's baking is amazing.
and then Victoria gave me this beautiful bag, and it's called a bread bag.
Yes.
And I joked this morning earlier that I forgot. What
There it is.
There it is.
It's
the name
go-go
of it.
bags.
They're called go-go bags, and they keep your bread really fresh. It's fabric cloth, and I can just keep it on the counter with buns or bread of any kind in there. All right, here I go. I'm going to slice this on an angle.
Yes. Beautiful. And using a bread knife.
Ah, that's nice. This is a nice sharp knife, not like what I have at home. And we have a guest.
Oh, that smells so good.
Okay, so this is, oh yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Nothing
you can
better than
smell
bread.
the sourdough too in it. It's got that tang in it.
Bread in moderation, but
Yeah.
boy.
So they
get
say it's
sick.
got to have that spring back. And the thing that I do to check my bread to make sure it's cooked is I have a thermometer and I take a temperature read. And when it reaches, when you poke it, 199 Fahrenheit on the internal,
Yeah?
then you know it's cooked.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
it
why you're
works
the bread master.
brilliantly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So there we go.
Another thing we use quite a lot are wax wraps. So when you have a piece of leftover cheese like this, or you want to cover something, we use these natural wax wraps. They're so useful, and
They're like a sheet like this.
yes, they come in different sizes. This is just a couple of small pieces we have, but
So this is a cotton muslin fabric
that's right.
covered in wax.
Covered
like
in natural beeswax. So once you've used it, you just wipe it down and you can reuse it, and it forms to the shape. I put a band around this one because it was a small one, but yeah, they're just like saran wrap or cling wrap, and they do a great job.
They're
So look
reusable,
out
so you
for
can
these.
wipe them down.
Yeah.
And you know, I was telling my dad just yesterday about it, and my dad grew up in PEI, and he's like 88 years old. Didn't say that, but I did. And anyway, he was so sweet. I told him about your wax fabric wraps.
Yes.
And he was like, "Well, that's what we used on the farm."
Did he?
Yeah. He says, I said, well, you know, you're venturing with this new project to revive this again. And that I think this comes from France, or it's a French idea.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
the
but
original
that's
idea.
what I thought. And he says, no, we used it when we were growing up and we wrapped our cheese in it.
Oh, it's ideal for cheese.
Yeah, ideal for cheese.
And you can wrap it over something like this as well. It just
Exactly.
clings on. Yeah.
And I was thinking when my dough is rising, when I come up with the bigger sheets, then I can just cover my bread doughs as they rise
Yes.
with this wax
And it
paper.
won't stick.
Exactly.
It's like a non-stick. It's very clever.
It will be
it's all in
so
nature.
useful when they get bigger ones
Yeah.
with this. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So that's
So
it.
now it's time to enjoy.
Now it's time to enjoy. So I think I'll be the taste tester for this, okay?
Okay. Well,
And you get to taste my bread.
okay.
Now, we do have a guest. Would you like to come on camera and have a taste? Because it is, you know, our feature.
Okay, taste it later then.
Okay. I'm going to give it a cup. I'm
Okay.
going to cut open, I'll just cut this in half. And you can see the juicy
No, it's from the
mushrooms.
mushrooms.
Yum. Oh, klutzy. So I can go for the middle part.
The one
That's
Manchego cheese adds a lovely flavour. It's a little bit different, sometimes hard to get. You can use any cheese. If you have cheddar, use up what you have, but this has a nice flavour. How's the nutmeg with the cheese? You like
It's
it?
subtle,
Yeah?
but it's there. Oh, thank you. That's delicious.
Well, time to eat breakfast now.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. We've enjoyed our venture into cooking in the kitchen.
And there'll be more experiments and exploration to how to explore in the kitchen and use our fine ingredients from nature, from around us, out in the wild, and as well as the things that we have in our home.
Yeah. A little bit of wisdom in this crazy world.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
No.
If you like any of the information on the products we've used today, just click on the link below. Thank you.
Got a few takeouts now.
That's okay. Might be fun to keep a new one in just for humor.